All right, let's do this. So today I'm here with Alix and Mike, and we're going to be talking about the new Warlords of Draenor expansion and kind of give their thoughts on some of the features that are going to be coming out, some of the more bullet points of the expansion. First of all, what do you guys think, Alex, about the expansion itself so far? What you've been reading about or hearing at BlizzCon?
Well, I think it'll be pretty exciting. It's something new and different, and actually, I'm looking forward to it more than I was at Miss.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really looking forward to Mists of Pandaria, at least compared to Warlords of Draenor. I don't know how much you've heard about the expansion, Mike.
I've heard little to nothing.
So basically, we're going to be going into Draenor. It's an alternate dimension of Draenor. Not going back in the past necessarily. We're going to be going into kind of like a same world but different world, and it's in the past. So nothing we do there is going to affect our future, luckily. But it's a very creative storytelling by Blizzard, if you get my drift. But basically, we're going to the homeworld of the orcs before it was shattered in Outland. At the time, the Draenei are thriving, so they have many more people there than they did when we first met them. It's before all the wars that they went in with the orcs. There's going to be 7 new zones that are going to make up Draenor, so it's going to be pretty big. It's going to be a little bit bigger, I believe, than how Outland is now. There's a few more areas that weren't destroyed or separated when Outland was created after all the destruction of Draenor. So basically, it's going to be going back to Outland, but not. Did you like Outland, Alex? What did you think of Outland?
I liked Outland. The little bit I got to experience it, I pretty much have skipped over Outland, so I'm not, I guess, not the greatest of question, I guess. But I did like the instances that were there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems right now is a lot of people that come into the game now or came in the game in Cataclysm, or heck, even Wrath, didn't get to really experience Outland like it was intended because you breeze right through the levels and you don't really see it. Because I remember the first time I stepped through the Dark Portal when the Burning Crusade came out, and it was like a whole different game, but not in a bad way. Mists of Pandaria kind of was like a whole different game, but to me it wasn't exactly in a good way. So hopefully the Outland we go to, or the Draenor we go to, will be reminiscent of that experience going into Outland. So basically, Garrosh looks like he's going to talk to his father. He's going to unite the Orc clans, so that they're going to then try to get through the Dark Portal and destroy Azeroth, our Azeroth, not the Azeroth of their current timeline. So it's basically their past, our future, but it's all in the present. So that's the premise of the expansion. Does that sound like a good expansion, Mike? I mean, do you think it'd be cool to fight the warlords of yesteryear and actually see guys like Duratan, Thrall's father, and Gormash and others?
Well, for somebody like me who started back at the beginning of Wrath, I didn't actually get to really experience Outland, and I actually enjoyed the instances and some of the zones. The Grand is still one of the most beautiful zones to play in. A lot of people are going to miss that. So an opportunity to go back and see a rehash of the zone and see some of the people and stories that I've pretty much missed out on is actually kind of exciting for me.
That's a good point, because as someone who's read a lot of the books and who has read up on the lore just in general, I'm more familiar with the history of Warcraft before World of Warcraft even, And so I hear all these familiar names of the warlords that, someone may have heard in passing but not really remembered them, who they really were. It's going to be cool that there's a lot of players, even the ones that have been playing since the beginning of WoW, are going to be able to see these characters and, actually get to know them instead of, hey, they were back before Warcraft, before World of Warcraft. So that's going to be pretty cool. Another thing I did want to talk about, I don't know if, Mike, you heard about it, there's going to be a new thing called Garrisons in the game, which is basically you're going to be able to build your own, let's say, fortress and select areas in, I believe, each zone in Draenor. And with that, you're going to be able to put down mage towers and different buildings that will help you have engineering perks or blacksmithing perks. You have your own mine. So you'll basically be able to build your own little, I guess, kingdom in a way. And you'll be able to utilize the buildings in there for several different purposes, like I mentioned. And you'll also be able to recruit followers that will have the ability to go on quests and dungeon runs and also raids. And they level, I believe, up to a level 100 with you. They don't level the same time you do, but they level up on their own accord. But they level up to 100 like you do, and they can bring back items and I guess buying unequipped items as well as gear. It sounds like. So it brings a whole different thing to the game. What do you think about that, Alex? Does that sound like a cool thing?
It sounds like a cool thing, and I mean, especially since if you're an engineer and you get to build like a little bit of a blacksmith area, and that's not your profession, but I mean, you're still an engineer. It'll be pretty cool to see how they do that. I mean, I don't know if it'll eliminate the need to have an alt as a blacksmith. I'm not entirely sure what extent that'll be, so that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, they haven't said exactly what they can do. They said that they'll be able to you'll be able to buy things from them from different professions. They didn't say to what extent, can you buy everything or just the old stuff and none of the new stuff. The cool part I thought was that there's going to be the chance of you have a town hall, and in the town hall you'll be able to have trophies, things that you may collect achievement wise that you'll be able to showcase in there. And you'll be able to allow your someone in your party, I don't know how many up to, maybe 5 or less, I'm not sure how they're going to do this, but you'll be able to go into other people's fortresses or garrisons, if you will. So you'll be able to do that, and I think that develops a whole new role in the game where, it's kind of a game in itself, where I could see people kind of just getting lost doing that instead of other things. I mean, it's kind of like the farm, but times 1,000, as they said. So, what do you think, Mike? Does that sound like something you'd be interested in, the garrisons?
The garrisons, yes, but I hope you can still be able to do your professions and not have to worry about the garrisons, because I don't want to have to feel like I have to build up this entire garrison just so I can max out my profession just to get the perks from it. The, essential for raiding, the plus stats that pretty much people do professions for. And as far as the followers go, that just screams as a knockoff from SOTAR to me.
What game is that?
Star Wars. They have the followers that they send out for missions and stuff like that, gather mats and stuff like that for their crafting materials. It seems like they took a good idea from SOTAR and are using it into mod.
No, I didn't know that. That's funny. I know WoW does have that where they take ideas from other games and put it in their game or different add-ons, and I guess that can be good and bad. I mean, I'm glad, because I don't play those other games, that we get features like this. But it also is one of those things where, it kind of looks cheap in a way. I know WoW's developed their own stuff over time, so it's not like they're, not original, obviously. But hearing that's kind of funny because it's like, oh, okay, so they probably just took that idea from something else, but at least it gives us something else to do because the farm didn't really do that great in my opinion. You know, it was fun at first, but after a while, like I don't even know the last time I even used the farm. Do you guys even use the farm anymore?
I don't.
Alts, that's about it. As far as the followers that I've seen so far from BlizzCon, what I have seen is that it actually looks like they simplified it and actually improved upon what SOTAR had, which is extremely tedious and complicated.
Yeah, the UI they've shown, at least for the only thing I saw of the followers, it looks like you have like a bunch of different ones you can get. You probably find them, I'm guessing, around the world, and you recruit them. I'm not sure how hard that is, but then once you recruit them, then you know you can basically put them in charge of different things, either you know in charge of a building or in charge of a mine, or you can send them out, like I said earlier, on quests or dungeon runs or raids. So I mean, there's different options for them, and then you can give them gear too, so they can actually get better even when they're level 100. So it's kind of like a mini you in a way, like a mini version of yourself. So I thought that was pretty cool that they did that.
It'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
Yes, it will. Well, that's the end of this discussion. So I will wrap this up here, and we'll talk about something a little bit.